What's up guys, welcome back to Pat Outdoors. Today we're going to be going over KuKirin's performance scooter, the G3 Pro.
It came very well protected with double box shipping and came pre-assembled for the most part. Here's everything that came with the package: a hard shell bag, the user manual, 2 keys, Allen key set, 2 chargers, an air pump, and a spare inner tube. The only thing you have to assemble is the handlebar. Just remove the stem cap, mount the handlebar to the stem, position it to what's comfortable for you, torque down the 4 Allen bolts, and then position the dash display to your liking. The scooter has 2 charge ports on the right side and came with 2 amp chargers. We're just going to let this fully charge before we take it out for its first ride. One downside with the air pump supplied is that it doesn't have a pressure gauge, but luckily I have several in the garage. I like to run it at about 33 psi of pressure front and rear.
So the G3 Pro is now fully charged, but before we take it out for its first ride, let's go over all of the features. So this is supposed to be an off-road friendly scooter, so it does come with a set of 10-inch pneumatic all-terrain tires on it, which are supposed to perform very well on and off-road. It does have full suspension. Here's a closer look at the front shock and then the rear shock. It's got a ton of ground clearance under it, very similar to the last KuKirin scooter we tested, the G2 Master. It's got a nice large platform for you to stand on, though the step on the back doesn't have a rubber lining. Let's turn it on real quick and I'll show you all of the lighting. So it's got a very bright LED headlight, set of turn signals, front and rear, fully functional brake lamp, and it's got additional city lighting here at the bottom, so you don't have to rely on just a headlight to light up the path. So it's certainly got plenty of lighting for night riding. And as far as braking power, it's got a set of 160mm disc brakes, front and rear, and it is hydraulic. It's got a nice solid feel to it. The brand is XOD, which I'm not too familiar with, but we'll go test it out in just a moment. The scooter comes equipped with a 52 volt, 23 amp hour lithium battery, which sits right below the deck. It's supposed to be removable. You have the option of setting a combo here on the lock. Just unlock it, pull the deck up, and pull the battery out. You'd be able to swap it out if you had an extra one. I think you can get a second battery for around $400, which will double up your range to close to 100 miles. So this is rated for 49 miles per charge, but I can only see that being possible on the slowest speed setting on single motor. It has twin charge ports. So if you're using both chargers, you should be able to charge from fully empty to fully charged in about 5 to 6 hours. And as far as power, the scooter is rated for 2400 watts. It's equipped with dual 1200 watt hub motors, front and rear, which supply enough power to drive this scooter up to a top speed of 40 miles an hour. Let's take a closer look at the dash display, showing 58.3 volts, which means it's fully charged for 52 volt. To turn it on and off, you just hold this power button for 3 seconds and let go. Turn it back on. To switch from single to dual motor mode, you just press this D/S button once. It's very easy to tell if you're using dual motors. Turn signal, left, right. They actually don't call this a horn, they call it a loudspeaker, which is pretty accurate. And then this is how you turn the headlight on and off. Of course, the throttle. As you can see, they ship it with the speedometer set to kilometers an hour. To change this, you have to go to the P settings. So you have to click the power button 3 times in a row, which brings you to P01. Hold the power button again for 2 seconds. Then once you see this flashing, you can press the power button again to switch from kilometers to miles per hour. Hold it again, and that will set it.
If you want to go over all of the P settings in more detail, you can refer to page 5 in the user manual.
And then from here, if you want to hop out of the P settings and go back to a normal screen, you just have to leave it alone for 5 seconds. And there you go. Now let's go take this thing out and see how it rides. First thing I'm going to test out is the speedometer accuracy. Just going to start off on mode number 1, dual motor mode. Okay, GPS and speedo are showing exactly 14 miles an hour. Now I'm gonna switch it over to speed mode 3. Okay, let's see how accurate the speedometer is and see what the top speed is in dual motor. Okay, so I think that was showing 39 miles an hour on the GPS. Damn, this thing's got a ton of torque. You can hear the tire skipping whenever you're just accelerating from a slow speed. Yeah, it definitely picks up very quickly. Let's go switch out the camera modes real quick. Also, let me know what you guys think of my new camera. This is my first day shooting with my DJI Action 4. This is actually pretty bumpy gravel right here. Pretty loose. Seems like it's got plenty of traction now. And those off-road, all-terrain tires definitely have plenty of grip. Oh, damn, my favorite trail's closed. We're gonna have to take a detour. The suspension on this thing can definitely take a beating, but somehow it still maintains a comfortable ride. Since this thing has a waterproof rating of IP54, we can pretty much ride it through whatever puddles we want without having to think twice about it. Man, this thing's a freaking beast. Man, it is surprising how well this thing does off-road. Wow, that is amazing. Even though it's manufactured by the same company, this is noticeably better than the G2 Master as far as trail performance. Man, it even went over that tree stump. Dude, this thing is like surprisingly fast off-road. Yeah, as you can see, it's got plenty of lighting. Wow, I'm super impressed with the off-road performance of this scooter. Obviously, no problem in the grass. guess one downside I would say is the battery consumption. Obviously, we've been kind of hammering it this whole time. I've pretty much been pinned to full throttle. So you can see we're down to 54.7 volts. So if we've only gone 3.67 miles so far and we're down to 80% battery, that means we could probably only get about 20 miles range if we're pinning it in full throttle, racing this thing around the whole time. But obviously, if you're just cruising on, let's say, mode 1 on single motor mode, and if you're putting it around like this, you could maybe beat 40 miles out of this thing, which would be plenty for a commuter scooter, but I didn't get this thing to commute. I got this thing for some excitement, so we're gonna stay on mode 3, dual motor mode. Road's closed, but thank God we're on a scooter, right? Okay, now I'm gonna try to do another top speed run, squatting down a little bit. All right, guys, there it is. The top speed really is 39 miles an hour. The speedometer is just a little bit off. I think it was showing something like 42 when we were rolling 39 on the GPS. So it's 1 mile an hour slower than the manufacturer's rating, which I'm not too upset about since 39 miles an hour is plenty for a $1,300 electric scooter. Man, the greatest thing about a scooter is I can pretty much ride on whatever surface I want. Hop on and off, doesn't really matter.
And we are ending today's ride with 52 volts, which is about 60 to 70% battery life left. We did a little over 8 miles today. That's actually pretty good considering we're pretty much riding on full power mode this whole time. Now, if you want to gain access to the battery or if you want to swap it out, you would go here and turn this knob clockwise and just pull on the deck. Then you can just unplug this connector and pull the battery out. You also have the option of setting a combo on this lock to make sure that it's fully secure. The stem does fold, which makes it easier to transport. If you wanted to do so, you would unlock the stem by turning this knob counterclockwise. And you would just unlatch this and set the stem down carefully. Then there's a hook over here near the handlebar that you would want to line up with this hole and latch it into place. Now you can carry it. If you are interested in getting more information on KuKirin's G3 Pro and where to get one, I'll have links in the description below. But if you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful in any way, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you like this kind of content, want to keep up with some of my projects or some of my scooter electric bike reviews, consider subscribing to this channel. But this is going to be it for today. Thank you for watching.